we'll cover this with the. Hello, this is the couch co-hop. I'm Ian. I got Nick with me as always. My beer co-pilot, though I think I'm his co-pilot.
I don't know.
We're both beer. We drink a lot of beer.
The plane might be in a tailspin, but whatever.
We've drinking a lot of beers together. I've appreciated bringing Nick on to the couch co-op and hop as a fellow beer drinker. And
Slop, if you saw the
yeah,
recent Beer Blender episode.
I feel like it, I've never had Nick, though, on an episode where we've talked about Stella Artois. I know we've done an episode on the Couch Go Hop where we rated it. I know it's been, I think on Milkman Drinks the Beer, it's been on like 3 or 4 times at this point. It's my favorite beer. And
Just has to check back in to make sure he still likes it.
Yeah, I got to check in every once in a while. But, I know Nick likes it quite a bit, too. And I thought we'd do an episode where, we drink it, we talk about it. I know I think Nick enjoys it. Why do you enjoy it? I think you like it, right? Do you like it?
Yes, I do. It was.
I'm going to open it while you're talking.
It's. I mean, I have a little bit of a history with this beer. It was. I remember, and I may have mentioned this before in like some other episode, but this was a beer that I was first introduced to, like, I want to say like late 2003, early 2004. I was at a bar and like some promotion team came in and they were giving out samples, and they said they were basically comparing it to Heineken, but I mean, I can't remember all the little things they were trying to say, but I just remember the name Stella Artois. And then fast forward maybe 2 years later, now I'm driving a beer truck for the distributor of Stella Artois, and now I'm sitting here delivering it and buying it in scratch and dent sales, or just going out and buying a random 6-pack here and there. And I mean, it was probably one of the first few brands once I started working there where I just was trying to sample all the different brands we had, and it was kind of one that stuck out. And it was very much, I mean, yeah, it's a green bottle. It's got a skunky smell to it. I mean, I don't want to say that's where the similarities with Heineken end, but I mean, they are.
I feel like it's interesting
different.
with Stella, like just depending on where you are, what you're eating, it can be really skunky or it can be just really sweet. I feel like it's really is dependent on the situation in your palate. Because like Heineken is generally always pretty skunky to me, and that's a skunkier beer. Stella doesn't always exist in the skunky place to me. It's really dependent on what I'm eating and what I'm. In my opinion,
So it's like your palate is definitely affecting your experience with it.
Exactly, all the time. But I like it either way. I like it if it's skunky. I like if it's just really sweet.
It's like a beer mood ring.
100%. I feel like maybe I've told this story before, but I don't really know. So you came to Stella 2003, 2004. I came to Stella crazy late, 2009. I had really been into Heineken and Corona. Never spent the extra $1 at the time for Stella. Now Stella is the same price as all those beers, but at the time it was a bit more expensive.
And for less.
And I think it's because InBev didn't own them back then. I could be wrong.
Did.
Way back?
Yeah, so that whole deal I think took place sometime in 2008.
Right.
Or
So
no,
like,
maybe no.
So
no,
prior
maybe
to that, So
No,
prior
I
to
take that
that,
back. It was 2007, actually, I think,
yeah, so
because
prior to
the
2007, I was never buying it because it was
hmm.
always more expensive than Heineken or Corona.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's what
Okay.
I'm saying. So like in 2000, this is really silly. This is the silliest thing. I think I've talked about. I don't know if I've talked about it, but in 2009, I started dating Bryn, my wife now, but I was dating her. Uh, I had just met Nick at this time actually, and we've been hanging out some parties and stuff. Um,
And I brought Stella and he stole it from
no,
me, you
no, no. That was
motherfucker.
oh yeah, if only. Um, this is stupid, but Facebook was massive. That's the moment when Facebook was massive. And I remember Bryn was doing this fucking stupid thing. What beer are you, or what beer is your favorite? And so I remember taking this stupid thing on Facebook, and I made all my choices, and it said I was Stella Artois. And I was like, what? Fuck that. I was like wanting to be one of these other beers. Not that big a deal, but stupid. But just drunkenly, I was thinking like, I've never had Stella. Whatever, Stella's not my thing. So because of that drunken night, I was drunk that night. Walked from Bryn's apartment. We went out to the closest little store, grabbed a 6-pack of Stella, came back, opened it, drank it, and I was like, nah, this is not my favorite beer. But I'm already drunk at this point, so I couldn't really. But what I'm saying is, like, I drank it, and I was like, nah, this is stupid. So I think I'd have to look at it. I don't know if I could even find it, but I was pretty like, fuck this, Stella Artois, fuck this beer. So years go by. I'm pretty sure a couple years go by, and I'm drinking a lot of this. And one night, I do go back. I buy a 6-pack of Stella just to try it again, but this time sober. And it's like, oh, this is pretty good. I actually really like this beer, right? I really like this beer. At this point, Bryn and I have been together for a while. We've gone to Australia and all this thing. But we're about to go, so I've had Stella. I like it. It's pretty good. Decent beer. Not my favorite beer, but I like it. I've bought it. I like it. We go to Paris. So we travel to Paris, her and I together. This is our second trip together across, out of the country. And, I'm pretty good traveler. Bill Murray says, if you want, I know your wife or your pre-wife says, fuck this guy, fuck this, fuck this. But I think this is, fuck this thought. But I think it's very important. Like, if you can travel to another country with your spouse or your partner, I think that's the person you should be with, because it is incredibly stressful, and you're going to become a certain person that you don't know if you've ever been before. And I can get incredibly stressed when I travel. And Bryn's pretty cool about handling things. But at the same time, I'm also really anal about certain things, so that makes us good travel partners. So, like, I need to be at the gate, and she will not question it. She will just do it. But then I will, because of that, anyway, there's a lot of things I could go on about that, but I'm not going to go into that. Basically, we travel to France, a lot of Heineken in France, but I just remember flying into France initially and just being stressed out with everything. And it's like, I need a drink. I need a beer. And we just sit down and Stella is everywhere in Europe. It is a beer everywhere. And I just like, oh, just give me a Stella. And I think my fondness for this beer became, it's home, but it's not home. So, like, when I'm away from home, Stella is always going to be there. When I'm home, Stella is there. It became this very comforting thing, and I just fell in love. Also, it just, the more you drink it, the more I feel like it is a very deep, layered beer, I think, personally. Like, you can really, I don't know. I think sure, it's a simple lager. You could say it's a simple Eastern European, well, it's Belgium lager?
Yeah, Western.
I guess it's more Western than Eastern, but I feel like it has many layers to it. But traveling, it became my home beer. Like, it just, It felt like home. So like, it always centered me in stress. Bryn would sit me down in a bar. Hey, just shut up, have a beer, and I could say, "Can I get a Stella?" And there it is. You know, because you can't get, I don't know, you can't get Dead Guy or you can't get whatever. It's a lot of European beers, you know. Maybe you could buy like a $20 Coors Light. I don't know, but so through that experience, when I came back to the States after Paris, I started buying it a lot more. And it just became my beer. Where it used to be like High Life or like a lot of shitty beers. I'm a shitty beer guy. But Stella really became my beer. And it's funny that when I look back on it, that Facebook post that I turned down, where I was like, no, that's not my beer, was actually accurate. And I find that very stupid. And
I find that's probably the only accurate Facebook thing that's
ever happened, ever existed. 100%, Nick DeWayne, 100%. But I find this beer refreshing, easy drinking, crisp. Generally, I don't find it skunky at all. Like the skunk, I get the skunk is a little taste, but it's not like Heineken. I generally actually find it generally pretty sweet. I don't know if you get that, but I don't know. I love this beer. I love this beer so much. Like, I never get tired of this beer. Never. I get tired of having to pay a shit ton for it, unless I buy it cheap at like Total Wine or something. But like at Safeway, it's always like fucking $24. It's like, Jesus Christ.
$24 for a 12-pack?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking obnoxious.
I like paying the $30 for the case at Costco.
Yeah, I think I think it's like 32 at Total Wine, but yeah. I'm lazy sometimes, man. Like, but then ultimately it's like, here's the thing. I go to Safeway, the whole beer aisle I've drank. I've drank that whole entire beer aisle. There's nothing new there. And it's like tonight it was just like, fuck it. It was on sale for $21.99. It's like, but ultimately it's going to cost me $24. I'm just like, fuck it. It's just what I want to drink. I don't want to drink all this other fucking beer. So, fuck you, Safeway.
Yeah, Safeway Albertsons. Safeway Albertsons Kroger.
But it is, in my opinion, one of the... I know you shouldn't really say this of, like, big-ass beers, right? Like, full-on, mass-produced. But I think it's, in my opinion, it's a perfect beer. I don't know. Do you agree, disagree?
I mean, it'd be very well rounded for any occasion. I mean,
do you like it only because I like it, or do you truly like it?
No, I liked it on my own before you fell in love with it.
That's true. You're right. You talked about that. Yes.
I mean, it was more the name that stuck with me than the taste of the beer, that first sampling that I had at that bar. But it was really, once I started seeing it, delivering it, and buying it, late 2006, 2007 is probably when it kind of like grabbed hold of me as like a beer that I could safely buy from a store. If there was like nothing else that was jumping out at me, I knew that was like a nice safe bet that if I wanted a 6-pack of something, that I could grab a Stella and I'd be okay.
It's obviously it's owned or it's owned under the
And
Anheuser Busch InBev
umbrella.
umbrella. Before that, I believe Heineken had it before, way back.
Well,
Didn't they
it
have
was
it before?
no, it was an InBev product.
No, before that, before InBev had it. Didn't
Mm,
Heineken have it? Didn't
that I don't know. I thought it was always a part of InBev.
always?
I don't know.
Always? What is is there a history? Can we get a history? I don't know. For some reason I thought they didn't give me actual like. No, what does no? See, they don't. Is Stella? Yes, but for some reason, I mean, InBev didn't own them forever. InBev brought them in, so who had them before InBev had them? Is my
Are you on their Wikipedia page?
Well, I'm on the Wikipedia page, but it doesn't. That doesn't help. It's not saying anything.
Oh, in '88, apparently they were a founding member of the merger, creating Interbrew, which was the precursor to InBev.
In 2008.
Oh no, in 1988.
Well, it says in 2008, InBev was part. Oh, I see. Before InBev became Anheuser-Busch InBev.
Well, even before InBev became InBev, they were Interbrew and some other mega.
Interbrew that year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay. So what's Interbrew? Now it's but. Anyway, not interesting. Us.
Just web surfing.
Anyway, so most of my friends know that my favorite beer of all time. I think if we were ever in hell or some fucking asshole said like, "What's your friend's favorite beer?" I think all my friends, honestly, all my friends would say Stella. I don't think there's any my wife would say Stella. I don't think there's anyone I know that would answer like Dead Guy or something else. Everyone knows that like my favorite beer is Stella. And so because of that, I get a lot of content of Stella. So like I have a lot of chalices and the funny thing is I still have
Giving them out.
Well, I've given them out to all my friends and I still have 8 chalices and 1 giant. So this is a giant chalice. This is a bigger chalice. This is my friend. Gonna shout out my boy. What's his name? Oh, I'm drunk. What the fuck? I feel so bad that I'm forgetting your fucking name right now, bro. Dude, what an asshole friend. But I'm gonna find it. What is? Nick, help me out.
Is his last name Miletus?
No.
Oh.
Oh, don't listen to this, my friend, who is my friend that I'm forgetting who his name is right now. I feel so shitty. It's not Jared. Anyway.
Bill?
Not Bill. Well, fuck Bill.
Aaron?
Bill doesn't drink anymore. Anyway, he used to work at Buffalo Wild Wings. He's a bartender at Buffalo Wild Wings. He gave me a lot of shit. He gave me this full-on double. He also gave me this Heineken. I don't know. You can probably see it back there, maybe. There's a Heineken tap handle. Which I had in my car for the longest time. I had it screwed in as my shifter.
Stick shift.
But because it's a cheap plastic, it started to separate, so I unscrewed it but I like that whole beer shifter thing. That's pretty fun. You know what? Here's another shitty thing. He gave me another one. He gave me an arrogant bastard tap handle, which is like a solid piece of thing. That'd be a great shift handle. But I gave it to Dave. And I don't even think Dave's using it. Anyway.
Collecting dust somewhere.
Anyway. But yeah. I love this beer. It's great. It's like golden deliciousness. Have you ever been out of the country, Nick, to win?
Just Canada, but that was kind of before. Probably not, because I didn't drink up there.
I've never been to Canada, actually. Been to Mexico, but never been to Canada.
Actually, I had a couple of beers up there, but they were nothing Canadian. I was too scared, and so I stuck, I think, with home stuff and maybe Corona. I can't remember.
There's nothing I love more than leaving the country. It's the greatest, most fun thing. The sucky thing now is we used to have a dog. We used to have a dog that was cool with going to our friend's house and just being a dog. Like, she was. But now we have a dog that would probably slit his wrists and kill himself. So, like, we probably can't leave. You know? He's more human than us. We had a dog that was a dog. Now we have a dog that is a human. So, like, traveling is hard. So we're probably not going to travel for a while. But we used to love traveling. And anywhere I would go, you know, there'd be a tap handle with the old Stella. And it'd just be like, just give me that. I'll be fine. It's just like being at home.
Yeah, actually, you just jarred another memory out of me. Like my first time down to Phoenix. So my dad, I don't know how or why, but he wound up with these tickets to some NASCAR event down in Phoenix.
Let's NASCAR. Let's go.
It was like April of 2008. So I went with him. He invited me, and
I would go NASCAR. Fuck yeah!
Went with him, and took the Friday off and had the Monday off, so it was like a nice long weekend. But yeah, the first bar we landed at, ended up drinking a shit ton of Stella while I was there. I remember that. It was on tap, and just had myself a grand old time. And then $200 later, it was time to go.
I remember my friend's name. Got me the glass, and Danny. I can't believe Danny. I am so sorry, dude. Danny. He's been on the show a million times. Danny. I apologize that I forgot, but I found it, figured it out. I love you. But yeah, it's just one of those.
Is he still
beers.
a bartender at Buffalo Wild Wings?
No. He's not a bartender anywhere anymore. He was a bartender at Frontier up here. Pretty cool place. Then his wife was a bartender. Then they moved to Montana for a while. Then they moved back to Oregon or Washington. Then they got divorced. Not divorced. They split up. They never got married. I mean, we talked a few weeks ago. I should message him though, see what he's up to. But he's a cool dude. I love Danny. But anyway, beer, Stella. I don't know, man. I don't know what else to say. I just wanted to do this episode. Just a random fucking weird-ass episode where we're talking about shit.
Random ode to Stella, and
it's kind of buttery.
Just a reminder.
Right? It's kind of buttery. It's kind of... Right?
Doesn't I don't know. I have
kind of a buttery... Not like it is butter, but it has a slight buttery taste. Like over the top. Like...
See, I don't understand that So, I've been seeing some wines that are classified as buttery, and while I haven't had them, I'm
I
kind
get
of
it
confused
100%.
by
You don't
that.
get that? You don't
I
get that? You don't understand that? I get it.
maybe I don't know. Maybe I just need someone to hit me over the head with it, and then I'll be like,
I don't think you have to handle it.
"Oh, okay,
It's a descriptor. It's not necessarily what it is. I just feel like it's kind of smooth, just kind of smooth over the. I don't know. It's like a Chardonnay can be buttery, like it's just really smooth. Not
okay."
buttery in the taste, but in the.
Well, that's probably why what was throwing me off. Kind of like how some people are confused by the term dry when it comes to like the
Champagne or
sweetness
something.
scale. Well, just the sweetness scale in general.
Oh, gotcha.
Like when someone would describe a drink as dry, and like that doesn't make any sense. The drink is wet. It's like, well, no, they're talking about a sweetness. Yeah. And I kind of feel the same way about buttery because I'm sitting here thinking of like buttered popcorn or
Oh, right. You're
buttery
just like, oh,
rolls,
yeah, yeah.
and it's just,
I just
I
think
mean,
kind of smooth. It might have a
it's
little like kind of not buttery taste, but kind of a buttery kind of has this flavor at the end. I don't know how to describe it, but it kind of has this. And I feel like I could say Stella kind of has that. It's smooth and then kind of. But the thing I like about Stella is the flavor is very apparent, and then it quickly goes away. It doesn't outlast its welcome, and I
doesn't
love.
linger.
It doesn't linger at all, and so like that's what makes it a really easy drinking beer, because it doesn't linger. It doesn't hang. It doesn't.
I'll agree with that.
It's
That's
like one
for
of the
sure.
most perfectly balanced beers. Taste it, drink it, gone. Taste it, drink it, gone. You know, it doesn't, and that's literally how you drink it. Like ultimately, it's like I have drank so much of this beer. I don't, I you know. Here's the other thing. Here's another thing. Here's a silly thing. So I had 12 uh of the goblets. What do you call these? Chalices. The regular size ones for a full. But before I ever got those, I actually asked. They had this thing where like, hey, you can get your own chalice, and then you can have it engraved. So I have my own chalice engraved with Milkman on it. And then just randomly a friend of mine says, "Hey, I know you're a big here's the other funny thing. Hey, I know you're a big fan of Stella Artois." It's like, "What? I am?" It's like, "Oh yeah, I know you are." Anyway, it's like, "Cool, okay." He gave me 12 fucking chalices. So I had a shit ton. So I gave one to all my friends, and then I have like a set at my house, you know. So I got Nick. Nick has one, and Jared. So ultimately, the couch co-op, except John decided to say, "I don't want one." But
Your son
yeah, my son rejects. My son
is
doesn't like this style of beer. He just tastes it. He doesn't like Stella or Heineken or
your son is
Carlsberg.
rejecting his father.
Yeah, well, I get it. He's got to figure his own path. You know, he's got to do his own thing. You know,
Oh, with Taj.
I mean, Taj is fine. I don't hate Taj. I just like. I think it has to come down to like.
Is that his rebellion beer?
You know
The
what's
beer he's going
funny?
to
It's
rebel
like
against you with?
he hates. He likes a lot of the most of the beers I like, and he hates a lot of the beers I hate, and then he just doesn't like this style of beer. So I don't really know like I can't really fault him for his beer taste because generally his beer tastes are pretty similar. So like I don't know. So my son's gonna be my son. He's not from my loins, so whatever. I don't know where I was gonna go with that before you fucking derailed me.
Sorry.
Anyway, oh, he didn't want to take a glass, so we all have glass.
Yes.
We all have the chalices except him. So, but they're cool. It's a cool glass. It's a cool thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
I find it fun that my friend Nick, like, hey, I don't really like these. I know you're a big fan of Stella. Would you like 12 Stella chalices? And I was like, yes, I'll take them. And then I was like, I'll keep this set, and then I'll just give these to my friends. So, and I
So
don't.
your friend Nick gave these to you?
My other friend Nick, not you. My
Okay.
coworker Nick. And
So
then I gave them. I
wait,
gave them to you. I gave them to everybody except John. Ryan. So here's how my friends break down. My friends break down. I feel like Aaron, Jared, and Dave are kind of the cross line. They're okay with Stella. They don't love it, but they're okay with it. Nick, DeWin, you likes Stella quite a bit. Ryan Chaser, my good friend Ryan down in Salem, he loves Stella. He thinks it's a perfect beer. He's with me. So like, it works out. It works out, right?
how does he feel about Stella non-alcohol or there's 0.0 or
Oh,
whatever?
Stella. I don't know if he's had it, but I've had it. It's all right. It's not the
Well,
same. Come on, it's not the
well,
same. I've had
well, I
it. I've
know,
done it
but I
on
mean,
Milkman Drinks a Beer. It just tastes like a malty beverage. Tastes like a really malty beverage that is fine. I could do a couple, but then it's just too sweet.
well, I just meant for him
I don't
since.
know. I don't know. You're right. I should ask him. But it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the
But I mean, is
same.
it gonna? But isn't an appropriate substitute for somebody who's not going to be actually drinking beer anymore?
I don't think it's I don't think. Okay, here's no. In my opinion, Stella Artois non-alcoholic is not a good substitute for Stella Artois. Um, you could try drinking it as a beer substitute, but like you're looking. I feel like when you're looking to drink Stella, you're looking for that. It is buttery. It has a buttery taste. Like it's not. I think if you really taste it, that kind of back end, a little buttery. Yeah, you're not. The problem with the non-alcoholic version is it's just really sweet. You don't want that. It needs to be a little buttery. Anyway, anything else you want to add, Nick to win?
I don't know. I think you pretty much well covered it. This was just another
This
love
is
letter to your favorite beer.
offhand. Yeah, anytime I
And
can talk, anytime I can talk about or make my friends talk about my favorite beer. Wait. I have a question.
shoot,
Do you think you could lock down what is your favorite beer of all time?
no,
You don't think you could do it?
mm-mm.
No.
It's too.
You don't have a Stella Artois. You just have too many beers. You just it's not a beer.
It's
You could
just.
just
It's like it's moments. It's time of the year. It's I don't know. It's a beer that I might like a beer that I might like in one atmosphere might not work in another.
Are you jealous that I can lock it down? Or do you don't give a
No,
shit?
No, I mean, it's
Because I like
mm,
having a beer that I can be like, yeah, no, fuck it. I need this right now. I need this. I need to clean my palate. I need this right now. This is my beer. I need this. You don't feel that? You don't feel that need?
I mean, I have beers where it's just like right now. Um, there's a couple of beers that I might be excited to get because they're still available in bottle form that I didn't think they were. Um, some and those might be my favorite for a time, but then the time will run out for that, and then I'll have to like move on to something else. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's just it's I don't know. A lot
If
of
you were
moving
if you
parts,
had a
I
gun
guess.
to your head, what would you say is your favorite? Could you even say a beer? Like I want to know what I
Love
want
is,
to what
huh?
you asshole.
Hmm.
Gun to your head, what beer?
Hmm. I don't know. I think I'm getting shot because I'm not going to pull out an
You're
answer.
not gonna pull out an answer. God
No, it's
damn.
just I'd probably be sitting there thinking too long about it, and the guy would be just like, you know,
All
fuck it.
right. All right.
I've
All
got
right.
stuff to
All
do.
right. All right. That's crazy to
'Cause
me. Could you name favorites of other things? Like, what's your favorite band of all time?
it's kind of the same deal. It's just, I mean,
You don't have a definitive favorite movie of all
no,
time?
I don't. Same deal. It's
Favorite video
there
game of
could
all time?
that one might be a little easier to nail down,
It
but I
better
mean that's
be.
only.
It better be because next week we're
I mean,
doing on the couch co-op. We're doing our top
yep.
5 favorite video games of all time, and
Well, and
you
I mean,
better.
we all pretty much know New Vegas is going to be there, but
You think so? Is it? Is
yeah.
it number one? All right, tease.
Well, I don't. Maybe not number one. Maybe. I
Maybe
mean,
not.
because
You got to
I
think
don't.
of it. See, that's what I'm talking about. Nick to win's not an open book.
Mm. But yeah, it's just it's it's things change, I guess, and it's
When I say favorite beer, what's the first beer that comes to your mind? It doesn't have to be your favorite beer, but when I say what is your favorite, what is one of your favorite beers? What's the first beer that comes to your mind?
my favorite.
Hey, Nick DeWin, what's one of your favorite beers if I were to buy it for you?
Oh
Boom, lock it in. Favorite.
gosh,
There must have been a million beers across across your brain. Like there must have been one that's just locked in.
no, there wasn't. There was like a bunch of
Ah,
different brands that popped up at once, but it's like
serious?
original Coors. How about that? We'll go
Oh
with that.
shit, that's a choice. That's a choice.
No,
That's a choice I will respect. You know what? That's a choice I would actually put with you too, because uh, when you first started engaging with us as a podcast, as a listener, as a giver of beer or whatever, Original Coors was that first beer that you were very. I think we drank it together. Is there an
yeah,
episode of us? I think there's an episode of us
yep.
drinking it together.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't discount that as a choice. So like the fact that you finally shot that out, I believe that. Also a strong beer, a very tasty beer. So, all right. I just wanted to get an answer out of you. Thank you.
But I mean, I don't know. I only said that just because.
I had to. It's
Uh, well, no, I mean you've also kind
contractual.
of. I mean you like when we compare it to Budweiser or Miller Lite or something like that. You've not always
Better than
been.
Miller Lite, arguable against Budweiser. I feel like Budweiser and Original Coors are two different beers. Like
They are.
they don't
It's when
exist. I don't feel like they exist in the same. But that's my opinion.
they both come in aluminum bottles, and I don't know why that's. I mean, I don't drink them in aluminum cans because I don't like them for whatever reason, but because they're in aluminum bottles, I like them a lot more, both Budweiser and Original Coors. But when I drink them one after another, they are definitely different beers. And
Budweiser is a sweeter beer, and Coors Original is a little more gnarly. Has a little more.
but
So like I like like Budweiser with seafood because you have that salty and the sweet. But if
yes,
you
your
are
oyster.
but if you're just like chilling, I think Coors Original is if you're just hanging out.
Original Coors is good for a
Original,
fire pit.
yeah, fire pit, and you don't get tired of it because
Mm-hmm.
Budweiser is a sweet beer. You get kind of tired of it. And I think that's why it works well with like oysters or something. The sweet and the salty, like kind of. But Coors Original, 100%, you don't get tired of it because it's not sweet. And ultimately, I feel like I don't understand why. I think Budweiser is more of a lager, and I think Coors Original is more of a pilsner. But so they're not really the same beer ultimately, but they are paired up as anyway, whatever. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. It's like a dick.
Mm.
All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
We've talked too much about beer. Well, we should never talk too much about beer. This is a love letter. This has been a love
To
letter to
Stella.
beer. To Stella, ultimately my favorite beer of all time.
Mm.
A beer I love, but Nick also loves, but not.
I love it enough to buy it from Costco in a case.
He buys it all the time, and he loves to show it off, gentlemen, ladies.
Well, it's more like me fishing. I'm trying to like lure you into my house.
He didn't say no to the chalice that I gave him. He's like, I don't like this beer. No, he's like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I'm fucking sure I'll take this chalice.
This will get put to use.
And it got put to use tonight. Anyway, everybody,
Keep tabs on how nice this little
Gold
ring
rim?
is here.
Yeah.
Yes, because I'm sure when it shows up in
I'm
subsequent
just glad it was a
episodes,
finger
will
tonight. It could
fade
have been his
away.
cock or something. I don't know. Anyway. Hey everybody, I'm Ian. That's Nick. This is the Couch Co-op, and these are the episodes you long for.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be back
Not
very
like the
soon.
episodes where somebody spills stuff on the ground. But.
Oh well, we'll see. But everyone, take care. Have a good night. We love you.